So I was out in the garden just doing some weeding, and I found a problem that we need to deal with. And so I decided to go ahead and grab the camera before dealing with the problem, because I wanted to show you guys what this is and what we do about it, because I feel like it's a really common problem in the garden. I think most gardeners deal with this. It's a huge issue in my area. And what it is the squash bugs. And so I saw a squash bug on this plant a day or two ago, and I killed the squash bug and I killed the eggs. Well, when I came back out here today and I was looking at it, there's more eggs. So there's probably another bug somewhere I need to find. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and deal with these squash bug eggs. And this is what they look like. You'll see, and they're usually on the undersides of your squash leaves. This is a zucchini plant, I believe, by the way. It's either a zucchini plant or a yellow summer squash. But the best way to deal with squash bug eggs is literally, we're just gonna squish them. It's really gross, but I think there's actually an egg. There's an egg right here on this side of the leaf. And that does happen sometimes. Sometimes they'll also lay them on this side of the leaf, but usually it's on the underside. But anyway, if I was going to deal with, like if I was able to see, like if I saw any squash bugs, which I don't see any right now, but if I did, the way to handle that would be a soapy water spray, a Castile soap with water in a spray bottle shooken up is one of the best ways to deal with squash bugs. The other thing we can do is literally just pick them off with our hands and put them in soapy water, or squish them or something like that. Usually drop them in soapy water because it's just easier. They'll drown and they'll die. And sure enough, just like I said, there would be a squash bug. And this is what they look like. So this is a squash bug, and this is what I was saying before. The best way to deal with this would be like a soapy water spray. And I only see one. I'm out here actually checking all of the plants. So for this moment, I only see this one squash bug, and I'm gonna try to grab it and get rid of it. And so I'm just gonna squish it. It's disgusting. I killed it. And get rid of it. And we're gonna look and see if there's any more. I don't really see any more. But yeah, but that's what a squash bug looks like, and that's pretty much how you dispose of them. It's pretty gross. Squash bugs will decimate your summer squash, your winter squash too, but really your summer squash, they will decimate them in a very short amount of time. The best practice would be throughout the growing season, coming out and checking your plants daily if you can. And look at this, even more squash bugs. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and make up that soapy water spray. I'm going to show you guys how I do that. I don't have any Castile soap right now, but I do have some Dawn. And so we're just going to use that. And I'm going to show you guys what I do here in just a moment. So, okay. So this is funny. This water bottle actually says The Weapon. So it's just a water bottle that we keep on hand. I think we normally keep water in it. And, my daughter will spray our dog with it when she's naughty. That's why it says The Weapon. But to deal with the squash bugs, like I said, I don't have any Castile soap. That would be better. But what I do have is some Dawn. So there's just plain regular tap water in this water bottle. I didn't even fill it all the way up. You could. I'm not gonna measure this. I'm literally just gonna pour some soap in it. I don't know, maybe a tablespoon or two of soap. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to overstress it. I'm just putting some soap in here. We're gonna shake it up. The goal is just to have a soapy water spray. Right? Okay, so shaking up water and soap, and we're gonna go spray it on our squash bugs and see what happens. Okay, so I'm over here with the squash bugs. We got the weapon, water, soapy water. You'll see my dog over there. She's pacing. She wants to be a part of this video, and we won't let her, so she's sad about it. But so basically, I'm gonna turn this leaf over. I think it was this. See, there's some squash bugs right there, and I'm gonna just go ahead and spray them, which may be a challenge to do, considering I have to try to like hold the camera, but you'll kind of see that this one got off the plant, and I'm just coating him. Let's just see what happens to him. I don't know where the other bug went. I coated him pretty good, but I don't actually see him. And I've checked my other summer squash out here, and I don't see any other bugs. I don't see any other squash bugs. But here's the thing. It's actually really, really early in the season to already be dealing with squash bugs. So it's a little bit disheartening. I've got something we can do is plant onions around the squash plants, and see if that kind of helps deter them. And that may be something I do. I may start doing some companion planting as well. There are flowers and things like that. We'll stay tuned, and I'll walk you through. We're going to try some things this year. We're going to do some experimenting to try to see if we can deter squash bugs, because it's a huge issue in the garden. And although, so you'll see that soapy water spray killed that one. He's dead. But if I'm not careful, we will have to continuously do this, because squash bugs will be out here. And the only way, I found him. I found the other one. The only way it works is if we directly spray them. You have to literally spray the actual bug in order for it to do any good. You'll see, there it is right there. See if I can, it's not focusing well. So there's the squash bug covered in soapy water. And he will die. He will die just from that soapy water. Might take a second, but he'll die just from that. But we'll have to continuously apply, and you have to actually get it directly on the bugs. So if I come out here and all of my squash plants are covered in bugs and squash bugs, this would be something we're doing. I mean, you could almost do this daily. I think last year I had such an infestation of squash bugs that all of my squash plants died by July. And I was planting more, and before they could even, the new ones could even get established, they were being taken out by squash bugs. But, so we're going to try some different things. We're going to try some companion planting this year. I'm going to take you guys along for that journey, and we're just going to see what works. But if you want to just kill them, this is a good way to do it. You just need water and soap. Both of those bugs that we sprayed are now dead. Interesting note, that will not work for the eggs. For the eggs, you have to kind of just squish them off like we did, like I showed you, like we just did earlier, where you take and just kind of squish the eggs off. If you have a lot of leaves and there's a lot of eggs on the leaf, you can actually just take the leaf off the plant. Obviously, I wouldn't want to do that with something this small that's just starting to get established, because there aren't very many leaves. And the thing about the soapy water is it's not going to hurt this leaf. It's not going to hurt the leaf. And by tomorrow, there won't be pretty much any residue left, because, we want to be able to, it doesn't matter right now, there's no flowers, but we want to be able to attract pollinators. We want to be able to attract bees. We want to be able to attract the beneficial bugs into the garden. And so this does not have like soapy water doesn't have a long-lasting effect on your plants. It doesn't harm your plant, and it doesn't have a long-lasting effect. It's why it's a good option. But now, if you were to spray even a beneficial insect, it would do this. The same thing it did to this squash bug. It would do that to a bee if you were to spray a bee. So something to keep in mind. You know, we use the weapon responsibly. I hope you enjoyed this quick tip on how to deal with squash bugs and squash bug eggs. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in my garden today. I pray that your garden is filled with grace and that you're abundantly blessed. I'll see you next time. Bye.